Is affordability freezing the market? Let's find out.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. You got Angela and Michelle with the Hatch Homes Group today for our Monday housing market update. Before we go on, remember, like and subscribe if you're enjoying what you're seeing. But okay, market freeze. Realtors, are you feeling like things are a little bit funky right now, maybe a little slower on your listings with showings? I know that's not the case for everything, but we're definitely feeling that, especially when you look at our Portland Metro inventory levels were frozen at 1.9 months for the past few months. So is freeze bad? We're kind of thinking, freeze is more slow down, and maybe that is a good thing. But let's talk about that. Where are we seeing this frozen market? First, we're seeing that in buyer reluctance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So interesting stories going on right now that we've all experienced, but particularly I was in a multiple offer situation recently where this house my clients wanted to write offer on was multiple offers. They decided not to compete, which I get. But then the agent calls me and says, hey, like the other three offers rescinded. And she was kind of shocked. And I was like, listen, I've felt that before. And I was just talking to some friends who are realtors down in Southern California. One of them told me a story. They had 11 offers on their listing, and the first offer backed out. And then subsequently, all the 11 offers backed out and they were back on the market. So we're like mind blown. This doesn't really happen. This hasn't happened like that.
Yeah.
So why?
Why this reluctance? I mean, obviously, things are really expensive right now. I mean, let's be real. The interest rates are super volatile. And, just the overall consumer confidence is very low right now. And this makes buyers a lot more cautious and doesn't give them a sense of urgency that we felt before. And I think that really that change in the feeling of it is a big deal because people don't really like this change, right? Change is hard.
Change is hard. It doesn't feel good. And we're feeling that in the sellers too, right? We're feeling sellers some sellers aren't even as motivated, just like the buyers aren't even as motivated.
Absolutely. It's like, it's an overall feeling because this volatility in the market. But we've also found that like there's like this sweet spot for buyers feeling motivated when interest rates are 5.5% or lower. And with everything being so expensive right now, it just doesn't feel as comfortable when they're 6%. But with that, like if you think you can't afford it right now, then wait until interest rates do go down, but the supply doesn't go up. And we're going to have the same kind of issue with the supply and demand, and you'll have a lot more multiple offer competitions going on, and you'll end up paying over list price anyway. So it kind of works out as a wash. So we should really like dive into like what is really important about that for you and why waiting may even end up costing just as much. But mainly right now, this freeze really isn't such a bad thing, right? Because it comes down to affordability.
Well, but yeah, and we're going to go over some graphs with that too. But like if we don't freeze this, if this market doesn't freeze and we just prices keep going up and up, then we're going to have even worse inflation problems. The government's going to raise the rates even more, and and that will relate to real estate, with the interest rates.
But also, like, we've seen things skyrocket is because the appreciation rate, right? Like, housing is appreciated about 13% year over year for the past few years. I think the last 4 years, it's been in double digits of appreciation. And that's just not sustainable when a normal market and a normal appreciation rate is about 4% year over year. So that's driven the prices up.
Yeah. So let's look at a few graphs where we're like, okay, if the market freezes a little, that's a good thing. Like, so first let's look at Gary. These are slides from Gary Keller's vision speech earlier this year. But it's talking about the average home price, right? And so when you look at that, we are above the trend line. And if you
Mhm.
look at the last time we were above the trend line, we corrected, right? So we definitely need a correction. We don't have the same things, same terrible things happening that we did the last correction. So we definitely don't think we're going to correct that much, but a little bit of a pause right there, a little bit of a timeout, if you will,
Yeah.
freeze on that appreciation, is overall going to be better for our economy, for the housing market. And yes, I think sellers can still feel like, no, but I want more money. I want my house to go up in price and all that. But like overall, this is what's going to be better. And you're still getting a really, really good price for your home. And remember, those sellers that have to also buy too, like, like you can't, we don't want prices to go up like anymore,
Right.
like for a little bit of time, right? So let's freeze that.
Yeah, let's correct it, if you will, not freeze, but like a correction. And I think that goes along with this other chart talking about affordability over since the 70s. I mean, when you go all the way through, we are creeping way up above that trend line, and we don't want to get back to what the 80s were. I mean, let's not go back to the 80s
Definitely
where
not.
interest rates were like 10% then on average. So there's quite a difference. So like I think if we can correct the market like intentionally like this, I mean, well, not trying to slow everything down to a screeching halt, then we're going to see some normal activity again in a natural correction in affordability. So yeah, I mean, the bottom line, although sellers might be scared that their houses are not selling really fast for multiple offers right out the gate, and buyers are pretty frustrated that they aren't finding their dream house right away in their budget, know that it's just a little slower market and it's ultimately healthier. And we are happy to talk to you more about this. And please refer to our other videos about the pickiness of buyers or things like that. We have a wealth of resources for you, so reach out anytime.
Yeah. And I just, on that note with buyers, I think a lot of buyers think that if a house isn't multiple offers, if it isn't selling fast, then somehow there's something wrong with it, or somehow like it's overpriced, or they just kind of really get in their head on
Or they
that.
think they can get a good deal by
Right.
lowball.
And we're like, listen, this is the market. This is averages of market. I know that like a lot of buyers are thinking like 2 days on the market is what is that means that the house is great, but it's not reality.
Yeah. Well, we got used to that, right? We got
In this
used to
market.
that being what was normal. And now, like it's a new normal.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully this puts into perspective for buyers and sellers, like what the new normal is and how it shouldn't make us feel bad. We shouldn't, we
Don't
should,
panic.
don't, we shouldn't panic. And obviously there's a lot of caveats to that. Like, maybe some houses are overpriced that aren't selling, but we can dive deeper on that on any specific house when you set up a consultation with us. So just remember that. And thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a great week.